Chapter 3. The Officer. I was born and raised in Allenhurst, Georgia. Population 709. Well, that's where the population has grown since I left 6 years ago. It's a quiet place full of cultural diversity and small, tight knit families. Religion is a must, and everyone watches everyone's back. The cost of living is cheap, which helped further the generation blueprint. My father worked for 40 years, and I believe his salary at the time of his retirement was just over $40,000 a year. I was sibling four of four, and the only boy. Growing up with all sisters was quite interesting, I must say. It taught me fickleness of the women and also gave me a gentle side. My mom would always say, learning to put the toilet seat down at an early age will spare you of a headache in the future. When I was young, I didn't understand what she meant by that statement, but now that I'm grown and married, I get it. I have my family and friends, and I love them, but I could not wait to get out of that town. I graduated high school in June 6 years ago, and then off to the Marines. I served 3 tours in Afghanistan and was experienced to things no one is supposed to see. As difficult as it was, the military made it easy for me to transition into law enforcement. After the academy, I quickly gained the name of go-getter. I was very active and had a knack for interrogation, which I learned from the military. I had responded to several homicides since getting off training and have been a lead in several investigations which help homicide detectives in their cases. The department was going through staff shortages, and overtime, at times, had become mandatory. All the extra work showed me, all the extra work slowed me a little. But I tried to maintain my positive reputation. I tried to maintain my proactive reputation also. But work had gotten difficult because my wife will be giving birth to our first child soon. I was able to get approval to get off my normal work schedule for maternity leave. This was important because my coworker, Officer Timothy Smart, wouldn't be so lucky. On the day of the horrible homicide, I had been on leave for about a week. Officer Smart's wife gave birth to their third child on the previous day. He was able to leave work to witness the birth, but was ordered back the next day. Since Timothy and I were close, he asked me if I would work the day, just one day, for him, so he could spend that day with his wife and his newborn child. Though my wife wasn't happy with the request, and less about the greeting that I would get from her, I felt compelled to help a friend. After all, though it's only one day, what could possibly happen? Well, it wouldn't take long for me to eat those words. Briefing ended at 6:30, and the call went out at 6:42. The call read, the security guard at the tower reports the man lying on the sidewalk, bleeding profusely. The guard was shaken, and the dispatcher was not able to get any further details. My mind was on my wife and child. I knew the fire department was responding. So, I figured maybe this is a medical aid versus a crime scene or serious crime. As I drove toward the tower, dispatch said the call was upgraded to an assault. My mind changed all of a sudden. I knew this must be serious. I arrived on scene and was approached by the tower manager. She approached, shaking, and was crying uncontrollably. She pointed around the corner down the walkway and said the security guard was with the victim. As I approached the area, I noticed a trail of blood that ran from the victim down the sidewalk about 8 feet. This didn't look good, and though I really wasn't in the mood to be there, I had to put on my game face. It was clear this guy had been beaten to death. Bloody poles lay near his body. Since there were no signs of life, I called for backup and began roping off the area. Backup arrived to assist me. I realized though the tower was a luxurious building, the homeless had made it a place of squat. Wow, they were all over the place. With this rope, I was nervous. I said I'd been roped into this, though I volunteered. But I was here now, and I had to do my job. I figured the suspect must be gone because of this type of crime. It was time to get down to business and go through the motions of checking for witnesses. I looked over about 20 yards away and saw a thin, frail black man walking in circles, talking to himself. My first thought was, don't waste your time. Don't do it. But I wouldn't be doing my job if I skipped a potential witness. So, I approach, identify myself. I was greeted with, what in the hell do you want? I said, there was an assault over there, sir. Did you see anything? Did the motherfucker die? I was like, yes, sir. I killed that motherfucker? Fuck him, little bitch. That motherfucker stole my damn jacket. Of course, you know I was sitting there in shock. I stood there in shock for a couple of seconds thinking, this can't be the killer. This can't be the murderer. The shock quickly dissipated. It wore off then. I noticed what appeared to be a blood all over the guy's hands, his shirt, and sleeves. I said to myself, are you serious? As I placed handcuffs on him. You damn right. You find that damn money on that motherfucker? He got what he deserves. Steal from me and I will take your ass out. Well, to my surprise, I believe I had the killer. So back to my patrol car and to the station. There, the sergeant wanted me to put my skills of interrogation to work. Normally, I would have wanted me to be excited, but my wife and kids were on my mind. I put my game face on and had to do what I had to do. The interview was interesting at best.